very great pleasure to bring back Marley's Ghost for another run of 6 episodes this time, which is going to start in October. It's something we're very proud of, and we'd obviously like to thank the production companies Objective and John Stanley Productions, headed up by Layla Smith and Ben Farrell, who beautifully brought together a wonderful team headed by James Dean, who produced, and Jonathan Gershfield, who directed, and they've done a fantastic job of taking Danny Peacock's wonderful scripts, and we were delighted, of course, to bring back our wonderful cast to reprise their roles. And some of them are here now to share their stories about making Marley's Ghost and tell you more about it. So without further ado, I'll bring them on. This session is going to be hosted by Boyd Hilton, and joining him are the writer Danny Peacock and 2 of the stars, Sarah Alexander and Joe Joyner.
Thanks, Simon. Welcome. Danny, you wrote and created this show.
Yeah.
As Simon mentioned, it started with a 3-part series last year, now you've got 6 parts. What were the particular challenges for you in writing a full 6-part series? Was it easier because you knew the characters better, or how did it go for you creating the 2nd series?
Well, it's absolutely right there, Boyd. It's the thing of knowing the characters better. I mean, when you're working with people like Sarah and the beautiful Joe and the beautiful Sarah, well, I didn't say beautiful. I said beautiful, so I've got to come back to beautiful, the doubly beautiful, now the doubly beautiful.
Stop now.
And yeah, all right. Yeah, terrible. Sorry, my fault. I'm a bit of a waffler. You know, these guys brought so much to it, and so effing brilliant that it was a kind of joy. You know, as long as I gave Sarah lots of opportunity to have a terrible time that week, and Joe to say ridiculously stupid things, then not in real life in the show, then you know, it's a kind of joy to write. I mean, it's always a pain when you go, oh, hang on, page 1. I sort of calculate I've got 280 pages before I get to the end of 6. You know, so they better be funny, and they better be good. So,
and it feels like I watched episode 1, and it feels like in some level it feels like a kind of old-fashioned, in a good way, sitcom with a beginning, middle, and end, and a structure and jokes that pay off. Is that important to you?
Very important. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, I hate saying this old school thing, but I'm a great believer in even though you've got the most wonderful characters and the most wonderful actors in the world, you better tell a good story so that because I like it. If I don't get a good end, no matter how much I've laughed or enjoyed an episode of whatever it might be, if it doesn't resolve itself wonderfully, I think, hang on, that's lazy writing, or it's bad production, or blah blah blah. So I always like to think that I spend a lot of time structuring it correctly, so that the audience will really engage with the story and want to see Sarah having a terrible time. As long as actually you always get a terrible time at the end. It never works out. But so that's my philosophy. I really want to tell strong stories so that the characters had a great chance to be funny.
And so apart from the fact that you do get to have a terrible time, I mean, in terms of what you're forced to do, we're talking a bit about, there's a scene in episode 1 at the end, well, we'll get into it, where you're forced to go into a river.
Yeah.
But in terms of series 2, in terms of the character and coming back for the 2nd series, what is it that what's the whole appeal of the show for you, and kind of coming back?
Well, I think definitely just the premise of the fact that this character Marley has 3 ghosts in her life that she didn't ask for, and she doesn't really want there, but she's forced into this situation, and I think a lot of it is about. It's quite interesting because the relationship she has currently with these ghosts, for example, like the relationship she has with her husband, has actually improved since he was alive. So it's sort of a good thing. When he was alive, he was drunk and not a particularly attentive husband. So she took a lover, and she's having a better time with her husband because he's not drunk, and they still love each other and they're friends. So the lover, Michael, that role's changed as well. She doesn't need him as a lover. I mean, good job, because he can't provide. But so that relationship didn't. And the vicar, who she didn't particularly know well when they were alive, they have this lovely relationship as girls, and they're girl gang, and they get up to mischief together. It's really lovely how those relationships are developing over this next series.
Yeah, because Joe, the vicar is such a juicy comedic role, doesn't it? Strikes me that
I love her, and I mean, Sarah does all the hard work really, and then I just sort of stick a wig on and say something stupid and have a nice time. Really, it is a real gift, and I love playing her. Yeah.
How did you feel? Do you feel like watching episode 1 of series 2 feels like even more confident and that you know the characters more?
Yeah.
Does it feel that way to
Well,
you?
it's the great thing about a pilot, isn't it? Is that, or the frustrating thing about a pilot actually is that last year we did these 3 eps, and by the end of this very intensive working together, we all got to know each other so well that things became really easy. And therefore more creative, actually, because, you know, and just towards the end as it came to a close. So it was lovely this year. We all came together. We knew each other by then. We could be honest with each other. We worked well together, you know, cut all the crap and go, how does this work? Is this working? What if I do this? And, you know, and actually ask help from each other. It was a very generous atmosphere. And that just liberates you, really. And then it all becomes a lot easier. So I think this year you can really feel that fluidity, is that a word?
Fluidity, definitely. We've got a clip from episode 1. So can you cue this up, Sarah? Do you know this is a clip, a key moment in the first episode?
Yeah. So is this the treasure chest?
Yes.
Yes. So in this episode, Marley is starting a new life. She's moved house because she's revealed herself to be the nutter that she isn't with the old neighbours because they saw her talking to herself and being this crazy woman. So she's up 6 and moved. She's got this new life. She's trying to make new friends. And so we've got the neighbourhood watch around that she's trying to get in on that scene. And Michael has noticed something in Marley's court papers, she's a magistrate, that has alarmed him and upset him very much. And the key to whatever this secret is lies in this chest that
the ghosts can't open because
the
they
ghosts
can't
can't
touch
open.
it.
Yes, they're powerless.
The ghosts are keen to know
We're
what
just
this
staring
is.
at the trunk
Yeah.
and trying to calm her down and get Marley to stop unpacking and moving in and open the trunk.
Marley's distracted, she's trying to do other things, but we all want to know what's in the box.
Let's have a look.
We followed him back to her house. He couldn't take his eyes off her.
Not all last night, and this morning he was just in here with this trunk, sobbing.
Did he ever see what was in it?
No? After his death, he just told me to store it. Don't tell him we did this.
Oh, it's exciting, isn't it?
What? If you're going to open a treasure chest, you've got to have a creak.
It's not a treasure chest, Vicar.
Well, if there's not treasure in there, maybe it's a body. That's mystery music.
Vicar,
What if I'm not allowed to creak?
don't do anything.
Yeah, but it adds to the atmosphere.
It really doesn't.
Do you want me to open this trunk or not?
Yes.
Right. Dum, dum, dum.
I thought I saw movement in there.
Oh, hello, Sergeant.
I've got a Mrs. Harrington with me.
Residents Association.
Oh, yes.
Can we have a word?
Yeah, of course.
What about opening the trunk?
Maybe Michael's the Catchford killer.
Vicar, he's not. Who's the Catchford killer?
Exactly. No one knows.
Marley, Marley.
The only reason John Hannah's not is because he's in LA filming.
Yeah, it's in LA, you know.
Yeah. But what
Some
I'm
marvellous
On his scooter
Yeah.
with the dog.
I'm imagining the tone on set, the atmosphere is fun, right? I mean, it feels like you're all kind of having a fun time. Is that fair?
Yes, I mean, actually, for me, I think the 4 of us get on so well, and it's not really, it's probably really annoying to hear that, isn't it? You want to really hate each other and bitch, but we do really genuinely like each other. I mean, John has this tremendous energy,
Yeah.
and he's an incredibly, as I'm sure you know, charming and positive person. It really infects all of us. So we don't really want to let him down. So we all have to pretend to be jolly, even if we're not. But it's lovely. And as Joe was saying, you know, we're so close now that we always sort of check in with each other and sort of say, I'm going to do it like this, shall I do it like this? Or, you know.
And that is unusual, you know, because a lot of the
Yeah.
time in comedies, people are trying to nick a gag or upstage your gag, or you know, and that's part of the event for them. And
It's true.
some of them have quite big egos, apparently. You know, and that can be quite, you know, it can make it less of a joy to work with because you're then on the back foot thinking, oh, let's just make this scene work. Never
Yeah,
mind
that's
who's going to come off best in
It
it.
strikes me, Danny, that you make sure it's very clear you give all the characters funny stuff to do. But there's kind of no straight man.
They never do all it right.
Okay.
Of course they do.
You allow them freedom. Though.
Cool, absolutely. No, and listen, you've got these guys, there they are, boom, boom, they've got a better suggestion. Makes me look better.
Right.
I love this. I mean, I
We
really...
don't often change a script.
No, I'm joking. Not even enough.
I made reference to the climax of this episode 1, it does involve you going into a river.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, kind of semi-clad. I mean, you're wearing clothes, but you're definitely like
That's
scantily clad. How was that? I mean, that struck me as a good example of Danny writing something for you to put you through it.
Yeah, I think I must have upset him at some point in the last series. Definitely payback. Anyway, I had to get into this river. And because something ends up in the river, which I need to go and get, and of course the ghosts can't do that. And yeah, you know, so I thought, okay, in the river, summer. But then the toxicology report came back, and it turns out that I still have to get in the river because we've got to shoot. It's in the script part of the story. It's an essential part of the plot. But whatever you do, can you not stick your head under the water? Because you'll
It's
get
rancid.
poisoned
Oh,
and come out with a horrible disease. So, so that was good to know.
Yeah. But it looks like, but there is a bit where you do stick your head under.
Yeah, so we went to another place.
Ah,
So we had to
okay.
stick the head under
Right.
the
I
water because
didn't know
otherwise it
that.
looks.
No, we found a
Doesn't it look
nicer
good if you
one
do
that
it?
actually moved with less
Okay, brilliant.
Stuff
So
a
not
trolley in it.
having got into the river,
was all
and it was a one-take wonder, obviously you can't.
Yeah.
You know, and then had to get into something else so that I could then get my head wet, which hopefully is all part of the pictures.
So about the running when you ran down the street, and you told me when...
Ah, bloody hell!
Oh
Oh,
my
Yeah,
yes.
because after that you do end up running around.
Yeah, so then
wet.
You're
part of
so
the sequence
good.
is I'm wet in my vest and pants running through the streets of Ealing, and
And the
so
middle of the day as well, it wasn't even a quiet point of
Wow.
day, you know, it was
So we set it
proper
all up,
busy.
got all the cameras in position, all, you know, secret, and there's no crew around, just because we want to get people's reactions naturally running through. So, you know, okay, and go. Ding-a-ding-ding, ding-a-ding-a-ding, ding-a-ding-ding-ding, running through the streets. Nobody noticed. Nobody reacted.
Wow.
Nobody turned round from their cappuccinos in the cafe. Nobody.
Oh.
So I then had to do it again, shouting. So they went, I'm here, in my knickers!
Oh, that's infuriating.
Still nobody.
We've got another
It's
clip.
not good for a girl's confidence.
No, that's terrible. That's just British people, isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
Trying to be
possibly.
cool. Yeah.
Possibly.
We've got another clip, Joe. Can
Of
you
me
set
running
this
down the street.
Yeah, hopefully. This is from episode 2, I believe. Do you know what's happening in this clip?
Somebody did tell me earlier.
Well, it doesn't matter. We'll have a look anyway. Oh, go on.
Yes, no.
No.
You did tell me, sorry.
It doesn't matter. We'll have a look. This is from episode 2
Great.
of Marley's Ghosts. Let's have a look.
I was there when he died. Heard his last words. I saw you in court, and then I discovered the wedding photos and letters, and I realised who you were, so I just thought you would want to know.
Dead?
Yes. I'm so sorry.
He was still relatively young. What was he, murdered?
Car accident.
I always thought he'd be murdered. You know how annoying he was.
Wasn't annoying.
Which one do you think? Ooh,
You just found out I'm dead. A little bit of upset, please.
the red one's nice, not so sure about the blue.
Marley,
Great, thank you. Look, is this going to take long? Because I've got people coming over.
tell her.
His last words were, "Tell Katie I loved her and I'm sorry," he said.
Gasped.
Gasped, more of a gasp, he gasped. "Tell Katie I loved her and I'm sorry."
Shoes. Hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you.
Oh, no, it's fine. No, blue was never my colour. Oh, sorry, you mean the death thing? Yes, terrible. Hey-ho, life goes on.
Not the reaction you were expecting.
Of course, that was still episode 1, in fact.
It was still
to be
episode one,
fair.
yeah.
Yes, and that's a great scene because it's got the 4 of you together bouncing off a new character.
Yeah, really fun to do, and yeah, there's a bit that we didn't see there that, well,
Yeah, we've had some really lovely guests as well this year,
Yeah.
which is always, I don't know, it's really exciting when you're doing something and you get a good calibre of guest in. You feel really, I don't know, pleased with yourself for some reason, which is stupid, isn't it? It's nothing to do with me.
There is a smashing of new characters, you should say, coming up in the series. Dan, do you want to say something about the new characters?
Yeah, well, I love, as Joe sort of said, I'm so bad at this, like, waffling on.
I mean, one of the aspects of
I was doing it.
I've crashed. I'm really.
Fine. Take it.
Is
Take it. Fucking hell.
Is that we're trying to? Dan was, Marley's sort of starting this new life, and there's often a love interest.
Yes.
I'm leading this interview. So, you know, there's a few boyfriends on the scene, or potential suitors. And
Yes, but that policeman.
I was joking. Sarah's looking at me as if I'm really sorry. No, I'm joking.
no, I'm handing
Oh,
it
you're
over
handing
to
it out. Joe?
What?
I'm going to come to all of us because we're running out of time anyway. Because David Attenborough overran.
I'm not doing that, Joe.
Do that. Go on. Come on, I'm teeing it up.
No, I know, I'm not doing
Okay.
Just too rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I mean, there's lots of... I love having the opportunity to have new characters in, and I talked to production guys and Simon Lupton from it, and they would say, yeah, get a few more guys in there, but because we want to... They are, I mean, these are well-known, brilliant actors. I mean, as you say, Joe, I mean, it's really nice, isn't it, when top
we've
people
got Lizzie
come in.
Barrington, haven't we? We've got Juliet, I'm terrible with surnames. Jim, Juliet.
Jim Howick. You
Oh,
know,
Jim's
lots
great,
of lots of brilliant comedy.
Okay. We have officially run out of time. I wonder if we've got time for one question from the audience. I mean, I can't see anything. There's a huge bright light in my eye. But if anyone has time for one question, you know, if you feel it should throw it open. No? Fine. In that case, let's thank you all for talking about Marley's Ghost. Congratulations on season 2. Thanks.